2023 wishes you all a happy and cheerful new year. May this new year brings you happiness, joy, and prosperity. Best wishes from the English Academy.
Hello, I wish you very happy and prosperous new year. May this new year 2023 bring you happiness, joy and prosperity ahead. On this new year, I had told my friend to arrange a party. He replied me it's a piece of cake for him to arrange. I have invited some of my friends to new year party. They are all on cloud 9. They have been here now, so in a drop of a hat, we had to start a party. I think you heard something different. Yes, I have used some different phrases here that has been named as idioms in English. Those are all a piece of cake. Yes, my friend said it's a piece of cake for him to arrange. It's very easy for him to arrange. And I invited my friends, they are all on cloud 9. Cloud 9 means they had so much of happiness. Their happiness is not having any limit. And in a drop of hat, we had to start a party in a drop of hat. In a drop of hat means without delay, we had to start a party like this. So these are all called idioms in English. Every language is having idioms, and English also has so many idioms. What is an idiom? An idiom is widely used saying or expression containing a figurative meaning that differs from phrases' literal meaning. The word idiom derived from the Greek word idioma, means peculiar phrasing. For example, my room is at 6s and 7s. What does it mean? It's not in a proper order. My room is at 6s and 7s means it's in a disorganized form. And during the first wave of COVID, people are at 6s and 7s. Means they are all quite confused status in the first wave of COVID. This at 6s and 7s is an idiom. So we normally use this type of idioms. Your friends have been used this type of idioms, or when you hear the lecturing in your colleges, you have heard about these idioms. So many places, when it might be a talk show or while reading novel or while reading some of the newspapers or gadgets, wherever you might have find some of the idioms. Why you have seen this kind of idioms? They use idioms, especially the writers are using the idioms to catch the attention of the readers, and some of the speakers are using the idioms to engage the listener. And sometimes not only for that purpose we use the idiom, sometimes it will simplify the complex ideas also and share some of the point of view of arts. And you heard about these idioms. Normally people might have been used so many cases. See, if it rains heavily, by the time we use it rains cats and dogs, means it rains too heavy. And my friends are obsessed with watching movie, but I refused to get on bandwagon. I finally jumped on bandwagon and watched the movie Kantara. What does it mean? Bandwagon. Jumped on bandwagon means jumped to the popular things.
Idioms can express commonly shared or universal ideas. So there are often dozens of idioms that apply to the same concept. However, depending on the which idiom we choose, On that, we can convey an entirely different attitude or point of view about the subject. For example, there are several idioms on concept of death. If you state someone passed away, means uh, death in the graceful or delicate manner. Alternatively, if you could use the person kicked the bucket, it's much cruder way of describing the act of a death. So depends on the time and circumstances, you can follow these idioms.
By infusing an idiomatic phrase into your speech, you force the listener to shift from thinking literally to abstractly. This can help focus and excite the listener as they must activate a more conceptual part of their brain to comprehend the idiom's meaning. In writing, also, the same force you can apply for the readers to think what you are going to tell in your writing.
Now we can see most popular idioms of this globe. Just go ahead. Popular idioms from around the globe. The numerous idioms which add interest, variety, and humor to everyday English can be a challenge to learners of the language. Not only are many of them difficult or impossible to understand from the sense of the individual words they contain, it's also hard for ones to use them in their speech or writing until they have developed a clear understanding of their usage and character. Learning to use idioms naturally in an appropriate context and tone is a key to mastering truly expressive English. Now we are going through some popular idioms. Apple of one size. Originally meaning the central aperture of eye, figuratively it is something, or more usually someone cherished above others. Here, for example, Mahesh is apple of his father's eyes. Eagle eye means usually keen sight or also keen intellectual vision. If someone has an eagle eye, they notice everything, even very small details. For example, antiques dealers have an eagle eye for valuable objects. A good manager has an eagle eye for employee errors. Break a leg, said to a performer who is about to go on stage as a way of wishing them good luck. This phrase dates back to the 1920s and is superstition against wishing an actor good luck. The expression reflects a theoretical superstition in which wishing a person good luck is considered bad luck. The expression is sometimes used outside the theatre as a superstition, and customers travel through other professions and then into common use. Here, for example, I hope you break luck at your job interview tomorrow. Get out of the wrong side of bed, meaning to be in a bad mood. It is considered unlucky to put your left foot on the floor first when getting out of bed. For example, everything has been going wrong for me today. I think I got up on wrong side of the bed. Raj seems to have got up on wrong side of the bed this morning. He has been grouchy and ill-tempered all day today. A picture paints 1,000 words. A visualization is a better description than a verbal description. This term, which means a story told by pictures as well as a vast amount of a descriptive text, come from the quotation, "One picture is worth 10,000 words." Frederick R. Bernard in Printer's Ink, 8 December 1921, retelling a Chinese proverb. For example, such a beautiful portrait of a girl represents how a picture paints 1,000 words. A good presentation should contain more of graphics and less of text since a picture is worth 1,000 words. Blind leading the blind, used to describe a situation where a person who knows nothing is getting advice and help from another person who knows almost nothing. Blind leading the blind means that person in charge of the situation knows no more about it than those whom he is leading. This is a biblical in origin, coming from Jesus. Let them alone. They are blind leaders of the blind. And if a blind man leads a blind man, both will fall in a pit. Here is an example. I could help you learn to use your computer, but when it comes to programming, it's blind leading blind. I will try to help, but it's the blind leading the blind because I have never done this before either. A leopard can't change his spots. When people state that they can't change who they are, their nature, they sometimes use the phrase, a leopard can't change his spots. It's used in much the same way as you can't teach an old dog new tricks. For example, there is no point trying to get him to stop. He is going to keep drinking no matter what. You can't change a leopard's spots. He is bound to fail in all exams. Again, a leopard cannot change his spots after all. She's still going after married men. It's impossible for a leopard to change his spots. Backseat driver. This idiom comes from the habit many people who give much advice, that is unwanted advice, to the driver of an automobile from the backseat. This idiom means someone who watches and criticizes. Here are some examples. I cannot stand my relatives being backseat driver to me. Another example here. In our class assignment group, Madhu is acting like a backseat driver, only unwanted advices and complaints with a zero meaningful contribution from him. A backseat driver usually interferes in affairs without having the authority and knowledge to do so. For example, Madhu is such a backseat driver, he needs to stop interfering. No one asked for his advice. Or once in blue moon. The term blue moon means something that happens rarely, as in once in blue moon. It is rare that in one calendar month you would see a second full moon or blue moon. This is an event that is seen as absurd and can never occur, although the moon is never actually blue. Unless a lot of dust is kicked up into the atmosphere, then the moon can almost appear blue. Some events in the history that caused this effect and made the moon appear as blue in color. The eruption of a Krakatoa in 1883, late Indian monsoon in 1927, and forest fires in Canada in 1951. For example, I don't know why she bought that gown. She wears it once in a blue moon. The earthquake hits once in a blue moon in this part of the earth. We never felt it. Add more and more idioms, which might be helpful for you to reach your concerned readers or listeners. So if you add much in your speech, it might be helpful and it might be sometimes humorous to listen, and much better way to convey your ideas, your thoughts to the people. So I hope you have enjoyed this series of idioms. So we'll come with more and more idioms in future episodes. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe this video. Thank you.